Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope this video finds you well. I have some big stories to share with you today to show you the utter ineptitude of the Biden administration. Trump is down with the mainstream media, but up with the people. Stonehenge out in England has been attacked by climate change activists, and California says, hey, illegals, you'll get a lot more benefits from us than New York. So come on over and help us ruin California. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out as a small news station. So thank you so much. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is under scrutiny after he seemed to support negotiations in Gaza in favor of terrorist group Hamas. During an interview with PBS, he stated, "From my perspective, this is a negotiation. Israel authorized a proposal to be put forward. Hamas has come back with some elements that, in our view, are understandable, not unanticipated, and other elements that are out of step with what the UN Security Council set forward and what was in President Biden's speech." Now, for some context, Hamas has requested Israel to provide a timeline for the complete end of the war in Gaza and removal of Israeli troops as part of the negotiation. If this is what Sullivan claims is understandable, then he's essentially supporting Hamas instead of Prime Minister Netanyahu. The White House is trying to play both sides because they need Muslim votes and Jewish money. Now, I have a feeling that this could end up hurting America's relationship with Israel, but only time will tell. But it gets worse. Earlier this week, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went as far as to publicly suggest that America was withholding promised weapons to his country. Shortly after, Axios News reported that a high-level meeting on Thursday between America and Israel had been canceled. However, the White House is saying, no, we didn't cancel anything. We just had a last-minute scheduling conflict. Now, I personally believe that Biden's open hatred of Benjamin Netanyahu is getting in the way, even though the White House is trying to cover it up. He does not like Benjamin Netanyahu, and it shows by the way that he is treating our ally. Now, in other news, President Joe Biden has just heavily escalated his support for illegal immigration by celebrating the anniversary of legislation implemented under President Barack Obama. The legislation in question temporarily protected illegal immigrants, known as DACA, from being deported. While I hate to see children suffer the consequences of their parents, passing legislation like this encourages parents to illegally come to the country so that they can have children or matriculate their children into the American school system, thus ensuring that they aren't kicked out of the country for breaking the law. Now, as part of this celebration, Biden gave the mic to an immigrant named Javier Quiroz Castro, who thanked his parents for bringing him across the border illegally when he was 3 years old. Look, we all feel for this man, right? But Biden is glorifying illegal immigration and now shoving it in our faces. He should be trying to make real progress when it comes to legal immigration. We need immigrants. We're a nation of immigrants, but they need to come here legally and not from dangling a carrot like free money or free college or luxury hotels. By advertising the whole world that illegal immigration in America is good, you're putting Americans and immigrants at risk. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe if I was poor in a country that was better than mine, that was letting people in, putting them up in a $700 a night hotel, giving them 3 free meals, monthly money, cell phone, free legal counsel, I might try to sneak into that country too. But the reality is it's still breaking the law and it's hurting Americans. Like these safety net programs that have been in place for decades, they're here for us, Americans, American taxpayers, but that's not who the money is being used on predominantly. Now, this is the truth that most liberals hate to confront. For instance, Representative Pramila Jayapal recently appeared on MSNBC and agreed with host Joy Reid that networks like Fox News are fear-mongering by reporting on illegal immigrant crime. Newsflash, ladies, they are committing crimes. And not reporting on it doesn't make you a better person, right? Like, so again, it's like they're trying to play the race card and the criminal card. Oh, don't point out that somebody's here illegally. That's worse than the crime. All right, now it's sad, but you know, these type of people, they cherry pick the issues that they want to deal with, while the rest of us are dealing with illegal immigrants taking money, taking jobs, taking spots in school. It's really, really bad. And I love how the media pretends like all of this border invasion doesn't have its consequences. Like, okay, maybe they're not committing crime at a crazy rate, but you know what? Over 100,000 people are dying of fentanyl coming across the border from this invasion. So you can try to sweep it under the rug, but the reality is it's not good for Americans. Now, unfortunately, I can't say I'm surprised by these actions with the Biden White House. According to them, if Biden freezes on stage for more than 7 seconds, it must be altered content. And at this point, it's only getting worse. Even after being called out for twisting reality, Biden's campaign spokesperson, Mia Ehrnberg, called on media organizations to follow her lead and call out the lies. So now, anytime Biden freezes or has a gaffe on stage or at an event, they are planning to say, oh, this was just Republicans creating fake content. All right, now I have a lot more for you, but first, a word from today's sponsor. Our sponsor, Colonial Metal Group, helped me with my goal of protecting my financial future. Being at the whim of the stock market or this current administration does not make me feel safe or secure. Also, look at what they've done to the dollar. But by having a self-directed IRA where I can safely store gold and silver, an asset that has stood the test of time, no matter the economy or government policy, that makes sense to me. Colonial Metals Group has helped me create a self-directed IRA where I can have access to my assets. Now, let the team of experts at CMG help you protect your family's future. Their level of professionalism and ability to listen makes it easy for you to learn everything you need to know about preserving the money that you've worked so hard to save. Now, maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you already have a 401k or an IRA, or you are saying, wait a minute, how do I protect mom and dad's money from this crazy administration? Colonial Metals Group can definitely help. We put together a special offer for my audience. Click now on the link in the video description below, or call my special 800 number, and you will receive a safe and up to $7,500 in free silver. I'm going to leave that link and that phone number down below so that you can check it out. All right, now our government is truly terrible with money. I mean, absolutely terrible. Elon Musk of Twitter and Tesla even called them out just today. Musk said the government is terrible. He pointed out that the Biden administration paid $42 billion to have high-speed internet put into impoverished communities. So they've spent $42 billion and 0 people have this magical internet that Biden promised. $42 billion. This is an insanely large amount of money. Yet not one person has access to this internet. Musk said the government program is an outrageous waste of taxpayer money and is utterly failing to serve people in need. Wow, I completely agree with you. What an outrageous waste of our money. You have utterly failed us. You are pathetic. Now, I remember when Joe Biden bragged about this program, but I guess it was just a talking point and not a to-do list item. Man, like you think about that, you also think about Pete Buttigieg spending $7.5 billion and all they've built is 7 electric vehicle charging machines. Like, really? All right, now, Elon Musk wasn't the only Musk to speak out today. His father, who rarely makes public statements, said today that we need to be cautious with this Russia-Ukraine war. Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk, issued a startling warning about the Ukraine-Russia war, claiming we have all been brainwashed into thinking that Ukraine means good and Russia means bad. Errol Musk also claimed that Ukraine has weaponized biolabs and insists that Joe Biden is not truly in control of the United States. He said, we are being brainwashed and told that Ukraine is good and Russia is bad, yet they have found multiple bioweapon laboratories belonging to the United States in Ukraine. Like, what the heck is going on? Why are there bioweapons labs in Ukraine? They say, oh, well, China's going to build these and Russia's going to build these and Iran's going to build these. So we have to build them first. And then what happens? The one in China leaks a dangerous virus and they're working on other gain of function that's even more dangerous than COVID. It's crazy. So I agree that we have to be careful not to just believe that Ukraine equals good and Russia equals bad, because the United States has their hands in both of these situations. All right, now as Biden tries to appeal to minority voters, CNN reporter Harry Ent has just delivered devastating news regarding his support among the Black community. Now, during the show, Enton pulled up a diagram which showed that Biden lost 16% support from 2020 to 2024 among Black voters, while Donald Trump gained 14%. He stated, we're careening towards a historic performance for a Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we haven't seen in 6 decades. Now, can you imagine? Can you imagine the show producers off camera, like literally in the back corner, puking their guts up? What if Donald Trump gets back in? Oh, I'm going to barf my guts up. So pathetic. I bet people at CNN would rather have paper cuts with lemon juice in them than say one kind word about President Donald Trump. But here they are reporting that he is absolutely crushing it among our Black American voters. And I just love seeing that. Makes me so happy. All right, now speaking of Donald Trump, Senator J.D. Vance has confirmed that he would serve as Trump's vice president if he were offered the opportunity. While speaking to Fox News, Vance stated, look, if Trump picks up the phone and calls you, the first sort of thought you have to have with yourself is not just, could I be vice president, but could I stand ultimately in the big chair? And look, if he asks me, I'll think about it, but I think the answer is yes. What do you guys think? Do you think J.D. Vance would be a good vice president? I mean, I like Vivek Ramaswamy, but he could be White House chief of staff. He could be Secretary of State. I mean, there's a lot of really great talent that has been rising over the last few years. Okay, now Biden's re-election campaign is planning to call Donald Trump a convicted felon or convicted criminal at every opportunity they get. On the other side, Vice President Kamala Harris, she has been told to bash on Trump as often as possible for disrupting Roe v. Wade and abortion for women. So that is, they're going with a two-pronged approach. Convicted criminal, no ability to have an abortion. That's their two-pronged approach to beating Donald Trump at the ballot box. In addition to fake ballots and ballot harvesting and mail-in ballots and all of that, but mostly just abortion and also calling him a convicted felon. All right, now here's something that might make you mad. You know Stonehenge over in England, a place I personally would like to visit when I have the money and time. This cool rock formation that our ancestors created without modern cranes or lifting equipment. Well, an anti-oil climate change activist decided to damage it today. Yesterday, 2 activists from the climate activist group Just Stop Oil sprayed orange paint on the prehistoric stones of Stonehenge a day before the summer solstice. The act sparked a strong reaction on social media. The activist group was trying to draw attention to their desire to have all oil, all petroleum eliminated. And to do that, they decided to destroy something that brings millions of humans joy to go and be a tourist and look at these locations. It's just kind of sad. All right, now listen to what Charlie Kirk put out on Twitter. And let me know if you agree or disagree over in the chat. I definitely want to hear from you. He said, homeless in Los Angeles get free apartments valued at $600,000 per unit and $162 million total, all paid for by taxpayers. Gazans got a $230 million pier that doesn't work and $9 billion in aid, even though we know much of that was used and stolen by the terrorists. Newly arrived illegals get debit cards with cash, free housing and hotel, flights to anywhere, and free legal advice to game the asylum laws here in America. Ukrainians get their pensions paid for and $170 billion in aid and munition. Everywhere Americans look, deadbeats, foreigners, and criminals are gaming the system, breaking the rules and ripping off taxpayers, while those same taxpayers can't afford eggs, gas, or rent. America and its citizens must be put first, or eventually people will just opt out of the entire system. Let me know what you think over in the comments. Man, like, this stuff is hard to report on, but you're feeling it. I'm feeling it. Like, nobody's helping cover my groceries or my mortgage payment other than me just working my guts out. I don't have the government stepping in and doing stuff for me. There's illegals flooding my children's school, the homeless problem, the drug problem, the Ukraine problem. Like, it seems like everybody's getting help but us, right? I think Charlie Kirk is right. Do Americans need to be put first, or will we lose our incentive to work and pay into a system that supports people? I mean, these illegals are literally on the verge of bankrupting our hospitals, our school systems, our country, our welfare programs, our safety net programs. Meanwhile, you and I are asked to pay more and more tax. Think about this. Would they even have to threaten raising taxes if they didn't just mismanage the money so terribly? The answer is no, they wouldn't. If they managed the money well and they lived within their means, the same way we have to live within our means, the country would function and it would be a really, really great country. But they are terrible, terrible with money. It's a sad, sad day. All right, that's my update for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning broadcast, or afternoon or evening, whenever you see this. It doesn't matter when you see it. You're amazing. I want you to start your day by remembering that you are amazing. Never, never, ever link your self-worth to the government. Otherwise, you'll just be terribly disappointed. If you could give this video a like, I would really appreciate that. It helps me more than you know. Also, we passed 1.6 million amazing truth seekers. So now on to 1.7 million. Hey, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you